The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. Good afternoon. My name is Ron Juckett. I need a haircut. Welcome to the program for this 22nd day of July 2024. And I think we're with you 3 afternoons this week. Imagine that. We're with you today, we're with you on Wednesday, and we're with you on Thursday. Today, we have a battle between two good second-place teams in the American League. The Toronto Blue Jays, who are 3 games behind the Boston Red Sox for first in the American League East, are in Kansas City on this Friday, August 12th, 1988, to play the Kansas City Royals, who have the second, or tied for the second best record in baseball behind the New York Mets, behind the Minnesota Twins. The Royals are a 70-win team. The Blue Jays are pretty good themselves. It'll be Jim Clancy and Floyd Bannister going at it on a warm night, 84 degrees, in Independence, Missouri. So I think at least daytime-wise, we are back with a vengeance. And we should be with you all the way through until they start drilling through walls in the apartment again. If you're quite ready, let's do this, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents... Where'd my mouse go? That's right. Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today from Independence, Missouri, it is the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed as we start our 6th year. 6 years. Unbelievable. Anywho, so it is Royal Stadium here in Independence, a warm night, 84 degrees. It'll be Jim Clancy, who has not beaten the Royals. He's 0-3 with an earned run average of .557. That's not good. And Floyd Bannister, who is making his second start against the Jays. The Blue Jays are 62-54. How you doing, Scotty? And the Royals are 70-44. And all right, got to hit cancel on that. So it is a warm night here as Floyd Bannister takes his warm-up tosses. Floyd is a lefty. He threw a no-hitter this year. He's 33, fastball at 86, making his 23rd start of the year. And 9-9 with a 4.22 ERA. Who did he no-hit? Goodness gracious. The Chicago White Sox on June 29th. It wasn't a perfect game. He allowed a walk and struck out 2. Up in Toronto 5 days ago, Bannister beat these Jays 3-1. He went 7 innings, 114 pitches, 7 hits, a solo home run, and struck out 5. He also, by the way, shut out Baltimore on April 23rd. So he's had a good... When he's on, he is on. 140 2/3 for Floyd. 149 hits, 70 runs, 66 earned. He's allowed 16 homers. He's walked 46 and struck out 59. And this will be the lineup he'll face this afternoon. Tony Fernandez leads off for the Jays at short. Manuel Lee is at third. Who's the DH today? Cecil Fielder. So no Kelly Gruber today. Lee is at third. He'll bat second. Cecil Fielder is the DH. He'll hit third. George Bell cleans up and left. Jesse Barfield is at right. He'll bat fifth. Fred McGriff at first will bat sixth. Sal Butera, the man, the myth, the legend behind the plate, will bat seventh. Delson Lariano is at second. He'll bat eighth. And Rob Ducey is in center. He'll go ninth. It's a lefty on the mound, and this is not the Jays' A lineup. by any stretch. Here's the Royal defense for you. It's Pat Tabler in left. He's got a 2-arm. Jim Eisenreich in center. He's a 3 and a 3. Danny Tartable a 3 and an 8 in right. Kevin Seitzer and his orchestra is a 6 at third. Kurt Stillwell a 4 at short. Frank White a 7 at second. Bill Buckner a 5 at first. Jamie Quirk a 7 and a 5 behind the plate. And Bannister is a 7 on the mound with a 971 fielding percentage. 84 degrees, the wind's blowing off I-70 in dead center at 5 miles an hour as Fernandez steps in. Tony at 291, 6 homers and 48 RBI. Bannister starts the ball game. Strike 3. A full count curveball chased. So 1 out. Tabler, by the way, is a 3 in left with a 2-arm. That's not very good. Mr. Lee is at 286, 2 homers and 28 RBI. This is game 117 for the Jays. So we're almost down the last quarter of the season. And the Royals, this is game 115. Pitch to Lee. Up the middle, and that will be caught by Eisenreich, who makes a diving stop on the turf. So his first great play in center field, 2 out. He gets a good hand for that. And now bring up Cecil Fielder, hitting 204, 5 homers, and 15 RBI. Cecil pops this one up left side. Seitzer will make the catch, and that should do it. Blue Jays, no runs, no hits, no errors. And after half an inning here in Kansas City, no score. So here is Jim Clancy. Clancy has a 1-hitter on his dance card. He's 33 years old, fastball at 85 and a standard pitcher, making his 22nd start of 31. He is 10 and 8 with an earned run average of 374. He last pitched in that loss to Floyd Bannister 5 days ago. He went 7 2/3, took the loss, 120 pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs, but only 1 earned. A home run, he walked 3 and struck out 2. Now he's coming off a 1-hitter against Minnesota. That is absolutely remarkable, if you ask me, where he went the distance on 106 pitches. So Clancy, a good innings eater, 149 and a third, 147 hits, 68 runs, 62 earned. He's allowed 19 homers. He's walked 36 and struck out 82. And here's how the Royals will line up. Stillwell will lead off at short. Kevin Seitzer will bat second and play third. George Brett is your DH. He'll go third. Pat Tabler over from the Indians cleans up in left. Danny Tartable in right will bat fifth. Frank White at second will go sixth. Bill Buckner is at first. He'll bat seventh. Jim Eisenreich in center hitting eighth, and Jamie Quirk behind the plate goes ninth. Clancy can get you the distance if he's good. He can go about 115 pitches. Defensively for Toronto. Oh, by the way, Bannister can go the distance. He can throw about 125. George Bell is a 4 and a 4 in left. Rob Ducey a 3 and a 4 in center. Jesse Barfield is a 7 and 9 in right. Manny Lee is a 3 at third. Not very good. Tony Fernandez a 10 at short. Liriano a 3 at second. And Fred McGriff is a 6 at first. Sal Butera a 5 and a 5 behind the plate. That is the very definition of average. And gentleman Jim Clancy is a 7 on the mound with a 923 fielding percentage. Stillwell steps in at 253, 4 homers and 42 RBI. Put the mouse in the right spot and let's go. And Stillwell into right field. Barfield has room down the corner, and there is one out. In fact, he had to make a catch against the half wall to get there. So one out. Now, granted, this is not a grass field. It is turf with sliding pits. And I always thought this was the nicest AstroTurf field around. Kevin Seitzer at 323, 5 homers and 51 RBI. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Pitch to Seitzer. Kevin pops this one up. Fernandez waits for it and will make the catch, and there's 2 quick out. For George Brett, hitting .331, 18 homers and 92 RBI. Clancy deals, and Brett sends this one into right center. The crowd likes it. Barfield goes back. That's off the wall. So Brett is into second standing with a double. His 41st of the year at 35 years old. If the Royals can pass the Twins, and I really think that the only team that can give Minnesota trouble now is Kansas City, you got to look at what Brett has done this year. Remarkable stuff. Here's Pat Tabler. Pat at 350. 2 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch to Pat. Fly ball. Popped up right side. McGriff in the foul territory. Tries to grab some barbecue and makes the catch to end the inning. So they leave Brett on second, and that'll do. No runs, a hit, and 1 left on. After 1, no score. So Bell, Barfield, and McGriff to face Bannister here in the second. George at 265, 11 homers, and 81 RBI. We are with you all week, all on YouTube, all live, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Don't believe I have a Thursday appointment this week, which is nice. Pitch to Bell. There's a line drive right field. Tartable will get there. 1 out. For Jesse Barfield, hitting .248, 13 homers, and 39 RBI. And Barfield gets hit. That's not what you want. Jesse has good speed. That'll bring up McGriff, hitting .276, 20. How you doing, Forrest? 21 homers and 63 RBI. Bannister throws to first, and Barfield's back. So 2 middle-of-the-road starters going at it here, Clancy and Bannister. Good for their time, but, you know, you'd have to be a fan of their respective teams to really remember them. And, of course, we'll get to Bannister later. There goes Barfield. Quirk throws down to Stillwell, and Jesse is thrown out. They got him. So Quirk threw him out. Pitches a strike to McGriff, and there's nobody on and 2 out now. A wry smile from Bannister. He deals. And there's a fly ball, right center. Eisenreich moving in, rides the Schwinn, makes the catch, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, nobody left after the caught stealing. And after an inning and a half, no score. So Tartable, White, and Buckner to face Clancy. Danny at 266, 21 homers, and 80 RBI. And Tartable sends this one into right center. Ducey moves over, makes the catch. 1 out for White. Frank at 292. Again, hitting 60 or 57 points higher than his real life number. 8 homers and 68 RBI. That's a ground ball to Lee. Manny gets a mustard on the throw. Over to McGriff. White can still run, and that gets away from McGriff. So Lee makes his 5th error, his first at third. The foot came off the bag. It was a bad throw. McGriff was able to corral it, so it didn't get into the stands. But that is an error, and White's on. for Billy Buckner, hitting .254 with the Royals, over from the Angels. No homers and 16 RBI. Buckner strikes out. Clancy got him to chase a fastball on a full count. So 2 out for Eisenreich, hitting .200 with 10 RBI. Eisenreich would have some good years here in Kansas City, then be a role player for the Phillies when they went to the World Series in '93. Clancy goes to the plate. Eisenreich rips this one into left center field for a base hit. So White will round second. Bell does not have a super arm. The throw goes in the infield, and there's runners on the corners and 2 out for Jamie Quirk, who's hitting .248, 3 homers, and 7 RBI. Jamie, a part-time player at this point. Clancy deals. Struck him out. So Clancy gets out of it. Quirk chased a full count curveball, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and an error, and the Royals, after 2, have left on 3. So after 2, it's Toronto nothing, Kansas City nothing. So Butera, Liriano, and Ducey, which would strike the fear in the hearts of Barney Fife, I would suppose, but that would be about it. Butera at .212 and 2 RBI. There's a ground ball to third. Seitzer with a long throw to Buckner, and there is 1 out. So hope your Monday's going well. Weather's cooled off here in the Northeast. Not so bad. Nelson Liriano at .264, 2 homers, and 18 RBI. There's a ground ball again to third. Second verse for Seitzer is going to be the same as the first, I would think. Buckner's there, and there is 2 out. So Bannister ripping right through it. Here's Rob Ducey. Lefty versus lefty. Rob at .412. 7 for 17 and a double. There's a liner into right center. That's going to be 2. Ducey just turned on the afterburners after that hit the turf. And I'm not sure if that was just Ducey taking the gamble or Eisenreich just kind of lollygagging, and Rob has a 2 out and double, his second. So the opening 9 for Bannister, 35 pitches, 2 2/3, a hit and a strikeout. No score here in the third. Tony Fernandez started the game with a strikeout. He puts this one into left center field. That'll drop in front of Eisenreich. Ducey will round third with 2 out. The throw goes in the infield, and the Blue Jays lead it 1-0. So only the second hit for Toronto, but they made that one count, and it's 1-0. Manny Lee is 0 for 1. Royals and Twins, by the way, will play in a couple weeks, and you will see 2/3 of that series. Pitch to Lee is in the left center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Tabler waits for the bounce. He's got it. Fernandez around third. He'll score with ease, and Lee gets his 10th double of the year. And with 2 out, the Blue Jays lead it 2-0. So a solid start for the Jays here. Here's Cecil Fielder, who's 0 for 1. Bannister, as Scotty would tell you, was a good pitcher on some journeyman teams. He pitched for the Houston Astros, pitched for the Chicago White Sox, and he pitched for the Seattle Mariners. Again, not a guy that you would say you're going to go buy game tickets just to watch, but he kept you in a lot of games and has a no-hitter this year, as we said in the open. Pitch to Fielder. Struck him out. So Bannister is done with the third. Not before the Jays get 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the third here in Kansas City. Jays 2, Royals nothing. So top of the lineup to face Clancy here in the third. Stillwell, Seitzer, and Brett. Kurt is 0 for 1. Clancy 39 for his opening 9. 2 innings, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. That is into center. Ducey, 1 out. Rob had him played perfectly, and there's 1 away for Seitzer, who's 0 for 1. Clancy, I believe, is an original Blue Jay. So he got to be there in the lean years and is here as they start to... This is still the early part of what would be a remarkable decade for Toronto between 85 and 95 that would see him win 2 World Series. Pitch to Seitzer. That is a ground ball past Lariano into right field. And that's the 3rd hit for Kansas City. So here's George Brett. He doubled his first time up. Walked him. Not what you want to do. So Seitzer moves to second. Brett on first for Tabler. And Pat is 0 for 1. So 2 on, 1 out. Clancy takes a deep breath on this warm night. Ground ball past Lariano into right field. Seitzer is going to round third and hold. Barfield has a cannon of an arm, and Seitzer, well, he's faster than I am, but that doesn't say much. So the bases are loaded, 1 out for Tartable, who is 0 for 1. So Seitzer on third. Brett on second. Tabler on first. Tartable does have a grand slam on the season. Deep breath from Clancy. Tartable strikes out. And 0-2 curve. Don't know what he was looking for, but he chased it. And there's 2 out for Frank White, who's 0 for 1. So the bases remain juiced. And there's a liner in the left center that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Seitzer scores. Brett scores. Tabler scores. White hits his 22nd double of the year. He's now driven in 71, and the Royals now have a 3-2 lead. For Billy Buckner, who struck out his first time up. They must have come close to Oakland in real life in '88. This team just has it all together. Clancy's pitch. Buckner, right side. Barfield will track it down, and that'll do. But not before the Royals get 3 runs on 3 hits. There's no such thing as a shutdown inning. And after 3, it's the Royals 3, the Blue Jays 2. So Bell, Barfield, and McGriff to face Bannister here in the 4th. George is 0 for 1. Into left field, eyes and right, 1 out. For Jesse Barfield, who's hitting .248, 13 homers and 39 RBI. Was hit by a pitch his first time up. Did you see where South Sudan gave the U.S. men's Olympic team all that they could handle? I mean, there are some good basketball playing powers as we head into the Olympics next week. But South Sudan? Scotty says Bannister was one of those journeyman pitchers who lasted 15 years of 500 pitching. Yep, exactly. And could eat innings. You take, probably with Seattle, it was probably more of a number 2. But, you know, a mid-range starter and get you 6-7 innings to start. If you scored enough, you were going to win. he wasn't going to hurt you. And in fact, in this year, he averages about 6 a start. Pitch to Barfield. There's a fly ball, left field. Tabler will track that one down. 2 out for McGriff, who's 0 for 1. Baseball demos. I hear North Sudan is even tougher. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The last tune-up game, I believe, is today. The Americans play the Germans. Pitch to McGriff, who's 0 for 1. There's a line shot right center field. That will drop against the wall. McGriff is in the second standing with his 30th double of the year. So here's Butera. Sal is 0 for 1. There's a slow chopper to Buckner. He'll underhand it to Bannister, and that will retire the side. Jays get a hit, and that's it. They left on 2, and after 3.5, it's Kansas City 3, Toronto 2. So here's some standings for you. Toronto and Milwaukee are tied for second behind Boston, 3 back. The Tigers 3.5, and the Yankees are 4.5. And just like real life, it's a 5-team jumble. In the West, again, Minnesota has the best record in baseball by 3.5 games over Kansas City and the Mets. But they aren't guaranteed anything. Kansas City 70 and 44. Oakland 9.5 back. I just don't see it. I just don't see Oakland winning that division. It could happen. It's not over yet. I just don't see it. In the National League, the Mets lead the Pirates by 11. And in the West, Scotty, the Reds lead the Dodgers by 2. The Red Sox have the worst record of all 4 playoff teams. The Blue Jays are 3rd in the American League and hitting at 271. The Royals have the 3rd best pitching staff in the American League at 372. And Toronto has the best defense at 984. But if you look at that win total right there in the middle, you see Saberhagen with 17 and Gubiza with 15. That says a lot right there. Do I do any computer manager tweaking, or I just played it? I don't touch anything. I don't touch anything, so it goes to how it was presented. The only thing I tweaked was Oakland for the longest time was using Gene Nelson instead of Eckersley as a closer. When you know it should be Eckersley because Nelson wasn't closing. That's about it. The Royals are just playing through the roof right now. And Minnesota was a better team in 88 than they were in 87. Pitch to Eisenreich. There's a slow ground ball to Clancy. Throws to McGriff for the out. We just let things ride as much as we can. This is Friday, August 12th, by the way, 1988. Jamie Quirk struck out his first time up. And Quirk draws the walk. So a full count of fastball missed in, and here's Stillwell, who's 0 for 2. Clancy, 78 pitches, 3 1/3, 18 batters, 5 hits. All 3 runs are earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 3. Stillwell, this might be 2. Liriano has it, goes to McGriff for the sure out at first. Quirk moves to second. And there's 2 out for Seitzer, who is 1 for 2. Kevin has singled and scored. I find, Dave, that the action PC games are so good that I'm sure it's Mr. Cook that does the computer managers for these things, or maybe it's just hit the button on the computer and let them do it, that they're fairly true to life. And you're always going to have some variation. It doesn't help Oakland that they've not hit the ball all that well. Pitch to Seitzer. Struck him out. That's 4 for Clancy, and that'll do it. An 0-2 fastball got him looking. And after 4, it's Kansas City 3, Toronto 2. So Liriano, Ducey, and Fernandez. Nelson is 0 for 1. It does kind of get wonky late in the season doing as played when you got teams that you know are out of it, but are still in it on the computer. Pitch to Liriano. Struck him out. That's 3 for Bannister. 2-2 curve, swung on and missed. So here's Ducey. Rob doubled. His second of the year. His first time up. That's in the left. Tabler. 2 out. For Tony Fernandez, there's 1 for 2. Tony has an RBI single. Scored his 80th run of the year and struck out. Opening 18 for Floyd. 76 pitches, 4 2/3. 4 hits and 3 Ks. Rips this one to left. Tabler is there, makes a fantastic catch, and we're halfway home on a beautiful day in Burlington. It is Kansas City 3, Toronto 2. We'll be back in a moment. You joined us late. Here's how we got here. The Royals lead the Jays 3-2. 2 second-place teams fighting here in their respective divisions in the American League. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Kansas City. 2 runs, 4 hits, an error for Toronto. Jays got 2 in the top of the third. Tony Fernandez, an RBI single to score Rob Ducey to make it 1-0. Manny Lee doubled to make it 2-0. In the bottom of the third, Frank White, bases clear and double, drove in 3, and that's how we got here. Gentleman Jim Clancy, a 5-hitter through 4, and Floyd Bannister, a 4-hitter through 5. Clancy has struck out 4, Floyd has fanned 3. I suppose, as George Brett, who has walked and doubled, he's 1 for 1, steps to the plate, you kind of wonder, I mean, Demos brings up a good question. You can't really do this in cards and dice. I mean, whatever changes you make, you're on the honor system for. But do you tweak on a computer? Pitch to Brett. There's a ground ball. Liriano behind the bag, throws to first for the out. Not a breath of wind. A gorgeous night here in Independence, 78 degrees. Pat Tabler 1 for 2. He is singled and scored. I don't touch. Now I know that if you place the Strat on the PC, that a lot of people tinker with Super Hal. But when I play Strat, I play both teams, so I don't tinker with anything. Pitch to Tabler. There's a ground ball to Fernandez. Tony throws to first for the out, 2 away. There is no wrong answer there. Danny Tartable struck out his last time up. He's 0 for 2. But I was kind of wondering how you guys handle that. And there's a high fly ball to left, and that's long gone. That just got a baptismal shower in the waterfall in left center field as Tartable touches them all for his 22nd of the year. And it's now 4-2 Kansas City. No question about that. Clancy caught so much of the plate that Tartable just absolutely smashed that ball by the replay board in left center. Sixth hit for the Royals. So here's Frank White. He cleared the bases with a double in the third. He is now driven in 71. Into right center, Ducey rides the swing, comes in, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. However, Danny Tartable dunked one in the fountain, and after 5, it is Kansas City 4, Toronto 2. So Lee, Fielder, and Bell, Manny is 1 for 2. He doubled and drove home his 29th. Kurt Stillwell, Angel, is still mocking Blue Jays, making a face and chanting, "You're gonna lose, you're gonna lose." I'm sure that there's still some bad blood from what happened in '85 with these two teams. Of course, in my replay in '85, it was the Angels that won the West and nearly won 4 straight against Toronto after being down 3-0. Pitch to Lee. There's a ground ball past Stillwell for a base hit. So Manuel is 2 for 3. And then I'll bring up Fielder, who's 0 for 2 with a double. Jimmy Williams in the dugout for Toronto. John Wathan for the Royals. Cecil Fielder is 0 for 2 with a K. Lee not going anywhere. Fielder into left. Tabler has to go back, and that is a tie game. So Cecil Fielder has homered to make this a 4-4 game. His 6th of the year and 116 at-bats. And whatever good feeling was going through the crowd, go back and get some more barbecue. That ball is gone. Cecil Fielder sticks his tongue out at Kurt Stillwell as he passed short. So 4-4. Nobody out here in the 6th. Both teams have 6 hits. Cecil is country strong. Twinkies. The power of the Twinkie. Here's George Bell. George is 0 for 2. Floyd rocks and deals, and that's a line drive over third and foul, and somebody from St. Joseph's made that catch. It's 2-2. Bannister deals, ripped to right at Tartable for the out, 1 away. So brings up Jesse Barfield, who's 0 for 1 and been hit by a pitch. Yeah, I remember that. Tribe fan says father and son, both the fielders, Cecil and Prince, hit the same amount of home runs in their career. Demo says in Strat PC he does tweak Super Hal to take out the shift and adjust the bullpen usage. I think that would be the way to do it. And Tribe fan says, no, we aren't talking about Jesse and Josh Barfield. Pitch to Jesse is a fly ball to left. Tabler coming in will make the catch, and that will be 2 out. For Fred McGriff, who's 1 for 2 with a double. So the only difference on the score sheet right now is that error by the Jays. Both teams have 4 runs and 6 hits. McGriff, right center, eyes and right coming in, makes the catch, and that'll do. However, the 2-run homer from Cecil Fielder has tied this ball game up. It's Toronto 4, Kansas City 4. Josh Barfield got super glued to the bench in the 2007 Indians replay playoffs. Some people deserve it. Speaking of strange characters, congrats to Adrian Beltre. His induction into Cooperstown yesterday, along with Joe Mauer, Jim Leland. Am I missing anybody? I'm sure I am. Bill Buckner is 0 for 2 with a K. Pitch to Billy Buck. There's a ground ball to McGriff. Fred takes it to the bag himself for the out, 1 away. Todd Helton. Todd Helton almost became a Boston Red Sox. I think it was a free agent. Jim Eisenreich 1 for 2 with a single. And they looked at Helton's splits away from Coors Field and said, maybe not. But all deserving. Beltre is just one of the all-time great characters in baseball history. Eisenreich strikes out. So Clancy has fanned 5, a 2-2 fastball, a Bugs Bunny 83, and there's 2 out. For Quirk, who was walked and struck out, he's 0 for 1. Joe Castiglione won the Frick Award. Joe has been a fixture here in New England for 41 years. Pitch to Quirk. There's a ground ball past Lariano into center field. And so for the Royals, that's their 7th hit, a 2-out single. That'll bring up Stillwell. Clancy, 27 batters, 115 pitches on the nose. 5 2/3, 7 hits, a home run allowed. That was to Tartable. He has walked 2 and struck out 5. And to quote Joe Castiglione, can you believe it? Pitch to Stillwell. Got him. That's 6 for Clancy. And that'll do. A full count fastball at 80 miles an hour. And he's just shaking his head. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 7th here at Royal Stadium. Blue Jays and Royals tied at 4. Did pitches really top out at 80 back then? I think when they got tired, how old are you, Brian? Not everyone threw super hard. You can be quite effective at 85 with a lot of movement. I mean, you throw something flat at 80, you're going to, it's going to get hit. But you put some movement on it, enough snow, and I don't think people are expecting an 80-mile-an-hour Major League fastball. You're 52, so you're my age. Okay. Beltre had to overcome his tour in Seattle to make the Hall of Fame. Great as a Dodger and a Ranger. He had a great year in Boston, too, Scotty. Best known in Seattle for not wearing a cup. That takes some huevos. Ba-doom boom. Tribe fan says it was actually pitching back then rather than throw your arm out. Yep. Brian, you and I are the same age. Sal Butera is 0 for 2, by the way. Again, it's being crafty and knowing where to put it and all that. Although, at 80 miles an hour, he's pretty tired. I think they said he's topping out about 83, 84. Pitch to Butera. Sal rips this one into right. Tartable throws it in. Sal digging for 2, and he's in there. His second double of the year. And Sal Butera asks for the oxygen to be brought out to him. And now, actually, you know what? His speed isn't bad. He's a 5 on the bases out of 10. Here's Lariano. Nelson's 0 for 2 with a K. So nobody out here in the 7th. Bannister not quite at his pitch count. Yeah, Ryan was an outlier because he threw so hard, Brian. If you were throwing 93, 94, so what Tom Seaver was doing, Roger Clemens got in the high 90s, Randy Johnson, Mark Langston, that was rare. 91, 92 was what you were thinking of. And again, movement. Lariano strikes out. That's 4 for Bannister. A 2-2 fastball at 87 in there at the knees. To defend today's pitching, you only need to go 6. You got deep bullpens. They can all go an inning a night. And, the difference between today's ball and 80s ball, or at least the difference with the pitching, is that some nights you needed to go as deep as you can to rest your pen. Rob Ducey is 1 for 2. A double and a run scored. Quirk and Bannister have a word. Pitch to Ducey. That's ripped into center field for a base hit. Ducey's going to have his second double of the game. Butera's going to score, and it's the bottom of the order that's done it for Toronto. Yep, the silly opener. Yep. So 5-4 now, Toronto, 1 out in the 7th. And Bannister, 27 batters, 6 in the 3rd, 119 pitches, 8 hits, a homer, and 4 RBI. And Bannister says, I'm fine. They will go with when the time comes. Well, they can go far for as long as they need to. And Jerry Don Gleaton. Far hasn't pitched in a while. But Bannister will try to get out of the inning. Fernandez 1 for 3, an RBI, a run scored, and a strikeout. Jim Brown. That show I asked you about that did the computer analysis on the idea of pitching motion showed that Ryan was the only pitcher that threw almost a match to... I have my glasses on. To the ideal motion. Ryan, in that case, was a freak because he never had a serious arm injury. He threw hard. He didn't know for the longest time where it was going. It really wasn't until they got to Houston that they could harness where he was going, and then he pitched another 13 years. Pitched to Fernandez. Tony hits a ground ball to White. Frank throws to first. Buckner's there, and Fernandez is retired. So Ducey moves to 3rd, 2 out for Manny Lee, who is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, scored a run, and driven in one. That's a ground ball to 3rd. Seitzer waits, has it, throws to Buckner, and it's stretch time, but the Jays have taken the lead, 5-4. Although he can go 40 pitches, I don't think Dwayne Ward is going to get 9 outs. He's 24 years old, throws the fastball at 95, and that would be considered hard then. A ground ball plus pitcher. 5-5, a 2.70 ERA. Ward making his 43rd appearance for Toronto. He last pitched 2 days ago against the Yankees in a 4-3 loss. 2 innings, 40 pitches, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. His last save, by the way, came against the Angels on 9-out affair on July 6th. Ward, 83 1/3, 66 hits, 26 runs, 25 earned. He's given up 3 homers. He's walked 37 and struck out 70. It'll be Seitzer, Brett, and Tabler to face him here in the 7th. Kevin 1 for 3, a run scored, and a strikeout. Remember, pitching overhand is not natural. Underhand is the natural throwing motion, not overhand. Pitch to Seitzer. There's a ground ball to short. Fernandez has it, throws to McGriff for the out. And so here's George Brett. George is 1 for 2. He's doubled his 41st, scored his 90th, and walked for the 66th time. Jays 5, Royals 4. Here, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Brett rips this one into center field for a base hit. Everything is all cyclical in sports. When I covered the Nationals a few years ago, it was pretty much a good balance between hitting and pitching, and right now, the pendulum has swung in favor of the pitchers. Had Tabler 1 for 3. Has singled and a run scored. It'll swing back. It always does. Pitch to Tabler. Struck him out. Ward got him on a 1-2 fastball, 2 out. For Tarnable, who homered. Put one in the fountain in left center. Brett's going to go. Ward's pitch. There goes George. The throw down to Lariano. And Brett has his 13th steal of the year. So the tying run is in scoring position. And a 1-strike count to Tarnable. There's a ground ball left side, base hit. So is that steal going to manufacture a run? Brett's around third. Bell does not have a great arm. The throw goes in the infield, and we're tied at 5. And so that's, I think, the big difference between 80s ball. There's still more today. But the Royals just manufactured the tying run. For Frank White, who was 1 for 3, he cleared the bases in the third with his 22nd double. This one's been a pretty good ball game, hasn't it? White rips this one to left. Bell will grab it on a hard hop. Tarnable doesn't stop. Bell caught off guard. Is going to have to, well, just throw it in the infield. And Tarnable takes the extra base. So runners on the corners, 2 out for Buckner, who is 0 for 3 with the K. 10 hits now for the Royals. And Toronto has 8. So Ward, I don't want to say it's a blown save right now. Pitch to Buckner. Little dribbler down to McGriff. Fred will take it to the bag, and that will do. Royals get a run to tie it on 3 hits. They've left on 8, and after 7, it's 5-5. So Bannister's day is done. Steve Farr will come in. Speaking of other emotions for sports, Tribe fan says, if it wouldn't be to be made fun of so much, more basketball players would be shooting free throws like Rick Barry. The underhanded? Barry was like a 90% free throw shooter. Chamberlain did that, too. Steve Farr is 4-4. A 3.05 ERA, making his 30th appearance. He has closed the door 14 of 16 times. He's 32 years old. Fastball at 91 and a fly ball plus pitcher. He last pitched against the Jays last week, 5 days ago. Opened Toronto and got the 6-out save in a 3-1 win. 25 pitches and 2 strikeouts. 56 innings, 48 hits, 25 runs, 19 earned, 4 homers. He's walked 21 and struck out 52. He even told Shaq he could raise his free throw percentage 10 points doing that, and he wouldn't do it. Well, as long as you didn't need field goal percentage or free throw percentage for your fantasy basketball league, you were fine because Shaq could do everything else. Cecil Fielder homered his last time up, 1 for 3. He now has 6 on the year. He's driven in 17. I don't understand how you can be an NBA player and not shoot 70% on an unobstructed 18-footer. And Rance Mulliniks will pinch hit. Remember, you can't pinch hit for the DH. Rance at 289, 11 homers, and 51 RBI. We start the 8th in a 5-5 tie between these two teams. Mulliniks into center field. Eisenreich lumbers back to make the catch. There's no wind. It's now 73 degrees. It is just a drop-dead gorgeous night in Independence, Missouri, as George Bell steps in. He's 0 for 3. Alternate Timeline Sports. JT 2.0, how are you? Pitch to Bell. Fly ball, right field. Tartable will make the catch, and there's 2 out. So Jesse Barfield, who's 0 for 2. Five here in the 8th. Barfield popped up left side. Tabler goes in, Seitzer goes out. Kevin's got it, and that'll do. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Royal Stadium. Blue Jays and Royals tied at 5. So Eisenreich, Quirk, and Stillwell to face Ward here in the 8th. Jim is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. That's ripped to right field, and the go-ahead run is on. Barfield throws it back in. Eisenreich has good speed for Quirk, who can bunt. Jamie is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and struck out. And Jamie is going to drop one here. Ward throws to first, and Eisenreich is back. They play in at third for the bunt now. Eisenreich gets the green light to steal. Butera throws it down to Fernandez, and Eisenreich has his 8th steal of the year. So the Royals trying to manufacture a win. And with them in at third, Manuel Lee. Remember, I was supposed to do this game, but I forgot. Watching Tim Wallach when he was the third baseman for the Expos. And he would just get creep right in and creep right in. It was almost on top of home plate by the time the ball got there. Pitch to Quirk. Popped up right center. Ducey will make the catch, and Eisenreich goes back to the bag. So 1 out for Stillwell, who's 0 for 4 with a K. Kurt, left center field. Ducey will make the catch, and Eisenreich goes back to tag. The throw goes into the infield as Ducey can't get the runner, and Doug Bear is going to pitch for Ward. So Dwayne did not pitch all that well. Helps if I hit the right spot. So Doug Bear, who I forgot pitched for the Jays. In fact, he's only been there about 2 weeks, which is why I don't remember him pitching for the Jays. Comes in. He does not have a record nor an ERA. He's making his 5th appearance. He's 39 years old. That fastball is at 84. Again, Bugs Bunny would be proud. In 10 real-life games for Toronto, he didn't have a record and an earned run average of .405. Which for Bear isn't very good. Not horrible. He last pitched on the 9th in a 7-6 loss to the Yankees. In fact, in all 4 games he's pitched, the Blue Jays haven't won, twice against the Yankees and twice against the Royals. He threw 1 pitch on the 9th and allowed a hit. Overall, Bear 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So it'll be Seitzer now, 2 out, nobody on. Kevin 1 for 4. He has singled, scored, and struck out. Eisenreich on third. Seitzer draws the walk, and it's runners on the corners now for George Brett, who's had himself a day. So Bear missed low with the fastball. I think Doug did some time with Cincinnati. Doug did some time in Detroit. Oakland, hard thrower in the prime of his career. George Brett is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, scored twice, stole a base. Yep, Bear won the World Series in Detroit in '84. Yep. And George drew a walk. So runners on the corners, 2 out here in the 8th. 2 out, 2 on, and a 5-5 tie. Pitch to Brett. Ripped down the line and right. Barfield, can he get there? Yes, he can. Jesse Barfield keeps the Blue Jays in a tie game. He lunged, he put his hands out, he hit the half wall, and he made the catch to retire the side. And all George Brett can do, just by the bag at first, is take off his helmet and tip it towards right field. The Royals strand 2. We go to the 9th in a 5-5 tie. So Farr will face McGriff, Butera, and Liriano. Fred 1 for 3 with a double. What a play by Jesse Barfield out there. Toronto 5 runs, 8 hits, an error, and they have left on 3. Kansas City 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and they have left on 10. Pitch to McGriff. That is ripped to center. Eisenreich 1 out. For Butera, Sal doubled and scored in the 7th. Rick Leach will pinch hit. The entire state of Indiana gets itchy every time we say the name Rick Leach. Rick at 286, no homers and 20 RBI. As a pinch hitter, hitting 280. Ground ball left side, and the go-ahead run is on. So 1 on, 1 out for Nelson Liriano, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Liriano, slow ground ball to Stillwell. He goes for the out at first. Buckner is there, and Liriano is retired. And Leach will move up to second. 2 out for Rob Ducey, who has doubled twice. He is 2 for 3. Now hitting .450 on the year. You look ahead of the Royals' 9, Tabler, Tartable, and White. Leach on second, not great speed. Not sure of the name of Jesse Barfield's significant other, says Demos, but I'll just call her Jesse's girl. And if you go in the backyard of the Barfield mansion, I bet you find Jesse's grill. Where can I find a Weber like that? Pitch to Ducey. Ball 4. So first and second, 2 out for Fernandez. Tony 1 for 4. It has struck out, singled, driven in a run, and scored. I think that's my best option. Yep. So it'll be Farr's inning to get out of. Don Gleaton pitched last night. And Aquino will go Sunday afternoon. Fernandez with 2 on. Slow ground ball to Stillwell. Where's he going? He's going to try for Fernandez at first. And Tony is safe on a bang-banger. So an infield single, and with 2 out here in the 9th, it's Manny Lee with the bases loaded. And Manny is 2 for 4. He is singled, doubled, driven in his 29th, and scored a run. So 5-5 the score, and the base is full of Jays. And Farr remains the best option for Kansas City. Deep breath. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. They'll leave him loaded in the 9th. No runs. 2 hits and no errors. The Jays have stranded 6. Farr looks to the heavens and takes a deep breath. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Toronto 5, Kansas City 5. Yep, for Tribe fan rolling his eyes for our puns. Now, if Mrs. Barfield is a barbecue audience, it would be Jesse's Grill for Jesse's Girl. When you get to situations like that, it's when you need to go to pitch by pitch. I've already been on an hour, so I'll do that once in a while. It's just not my default thing to do. It'll be Tabler, Tarnable, and White. Cardiac time here in Independence. And Doug Bear's probably not who the Blue Jays really want on the mound. Tabler 1 for 4. He is singled, struck out, and scored. Bear starts the ninth. Tabler in the right. Barfield chases it down, 1 out. So here's Tarnable. Danny is homered in this game. He's hit 22 now on the year. Bear, again, just a drop-dead gorgeous 73-degree night here in Kansas City. Tarnable, fair ball. That hit the bag at first. Barfield thought it was going to go foul. He got a late jump. Tarnable's going to have at least 2 here. Barfield goes to get it. It plays the wall. Tarnable is chugging. The throw to second is not in time, and Danny has his 30th double of the season. He goes 3 for 5 tonight. And here comes Frank White. Frank is 2 for 4. He cleared the bases in the third on a double. His 22nd. He's also singled his 2 for 4. So the winning run is in scoring position with 1 out. And the faithful here in Kansas City get excited. And Witt reminds Bear, maybe you should walk him. Bear says, nah. And White rips this one to shallow left. And it hooks foul, so 0-2. Somebody from Kansas City, Kansas made that catch. So no balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. So Bear ahead on the count here to White. Again, the winning run in scoring position. Pitch to White. Ground ball to McGriff. Fred leaps, makes a good play. Takes it to the bag, 2 out. So White can't win it. McGriff, those fielding drills, Tom Amansky is smiling, and Bear will come out. So with a winning run 90 feet away, it is Tom Henke, which will make some of the Blue Jay fans pull their hair out because it's not a safe situation. Henke is 31 years old. He is 3-8 with a 3.63 ERA. When he does have the chance to save games, he's blown 7. He's 26 of 33. He leads the American League in saves. He's 31, throws the fastball at 94, and a standard pitcher. He last pitched on the 9th against the Yankees and took the loss in a 7-6 ball game. He threw 61 pitches. Goodness gracious. Of course, he can throw 50. 3 innings, that is not his long of the year. He did that against the Red Sox on June 12th as well and lost. 61 pitches, that is not his high of the year. He threw 62 against the Red Sox. 2 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5. Overall for Tom, 52 innings, 51 hits, 23 runs, 21 earned. 5 homers. He hasn't given up a home run since May. 16 walks and 49 strikeouts. The ERA at one point was close to 6. So that 3.63 ERA is pretty good. 2 out, runner on third, the winning run. Here's Billy Buckner. He is 0 for 4. Henke deals. Buckner pops it up. So we get Dave Gardner baseball for you next. Witt will make the catch, and we go to the 10th. What a play by Witt, who came in to catch. He's a 5 and a 4. We go to the 10th. Royals got a hit, leave him on. It's 5-5. So Farr stays in. Mullenix, Bell, and Barfield. Good thing we weren't looking for a quick game today, right? Rance came in and is 0 for 1. Slow chopper to Buckner, 1 out. for George Bell. George is 0 for 4. Farr in his third inning of relief. Free baseball today, Brian. Draws a walk. So Jerry Don Gleaton starting to loosen in the Kansas City pen. Farr missed with a curve on a 3-0. Here's Barfield. He's 0 for 3. Struck him out. And 0-2 changeup swung on and missed. So 2 out for McGriff, who doubled. He's 1 for 4. It'll be Eisenreich, Quirk, and Stillwell scheduled in the 10th for Kansas City. McGriff down the line and right. Tartable with a horrible jump. McGriff has 2. Bell's going to round third and score. And the Blue Jays go up 6-5. So McGriff's second double of the day masks the fact that Danny Tartable just pooped the bed on that play. So 2 out for Ernie Witt, hitting .254, 15 homers, and 51 RBI. 6-5 Jays here in the 10th. Witt struck him out. So Farr shakes his head. The Jays go ahead. 1 run, 1 hit. They've left on 7. Bottom of the 10th here. How you doing, John? 6-5 Toronto. What you missed? Good thing for free baseball. Been a decent game. These two teams are in second place in their respective divisions. In fact, Kansas City has the same record as the Mets at 70-44. They need 1 to tie and 2 to win. Eisenreich, 2 for 4 today. Has singled twice, stolen a base, and struck out. To Fernandez, who has it. Over to McGriff. 1 out. We're with you Wednesday and Thursday on YouTube. Jamie Quirk is 1 for 3. Jamie has singled, walked, and struck out. George Costanza going to taught Danny a thing or two not a field. Yep. Thing is, Tartable's like Rob Deere in the sense that, when he makes contact, ball goes far. But you're going to put up with the rest of it. Pitch to Quirk. There's a line drive to Barfield, and Jesse can't get there. That's a hit. So the go-ahead run is now at the plate, the winning run. Quirk has a single. So we said Hanky, although it's technically not a safe situation, he would get the win. He's not locked down here. Here's Stillwell. Kurt is 0 for 5 with a K. Pitch to Stillwell. Ground ball, right side, base hit. So the winning run, the tying run is on second. The winning run is on first for Kevin Seitzer, who is 1 for 4. He has singled, scored, walked, and struck out. This one has all the feels of October. Hanky, taking his time, now reaches in for the sign. Seitzer, ground ball left side. Bell picks it up. This game is tied. Quirk scores easily, and it's 6-6. And as our Red Sox fan would say, everybody go and pick up some sticks. So here is George Brett. Brett is 2 for 4. He has singled and doubled. He has scored twice. He stole a base, and he's drawn a walk. And the winning run is 90 feet away. Brett, although it's no longer an official stat, has 16 game-winning RBI on the year. That doesn't mean he's walked off 16 games. Crowd thinks that Brett's going to win the game right here. Infield and outfield playing in. Hanky sweating bullets on a 73-degree night. Mr. Hanky the Hi-de-ho, neighbor. Hanky, deep breath. Brett popped up. Shallow right. Barfield. Stillwell's not that fast. Barfield's got a cannon. Stillwell tags. The throw to the plate. Witt tags. Safe! He's safe. It's a walk-off sac fly. That was pretty shallow. Stillwell showing some pretty big ones to run on Jesse Barfield, and the Royals win this 7-6. How about that? That's pretty good. I was surprised he went there too. So 4 hours and 26 fake minutes, and the Royals steal one from the Jays 7-6. 7 runs, 15 hits, no errors. And they left on 11. Toronto falls to 62 and 55. That was great. Yep, 6 runs, 11 hits, an error. And they left on 7. George Brett, 2 for 4, a double, a couple RBI, a stole a base. He's your digital advice player of the game. They do give Dwayne Ward a blown save, his 5th. Clancy got the start, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, and a homer. Detartable. He walked 2 and struck out 6. Doug Bear did his job, a hit and a walk. And then Tom Hanky falls to 3-9. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. And that was that. Bannister, 7 innings. Talking about eating innings. 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Didn't win it, didn't lose it. A homer. And struck out 4. And Steve Farr goes 3 innings to get his 5th win. 3 hits, a run, it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. So for the moment, the Royals get to within 3 of the Twins. The rest of this Friday in baseball, Cardinals go into Chicago and pound the Cubs 9-3. Joe McGrain 6-6. Rick Sutcliffe falls to 8-12. Rafael Palmeiro 4 for 4. With a triple. Cardinals steal 5 bases. Philadelphia beats Pittsburgh in the first to 2, 1-0. Gross goes to 12-9. Jeff Robinson falls to 3-2. Bedrosian picks up his 23rd save of the year. In the nightcap, the Pirates take that one, so they'll split 3-2. John Smiley 11-6. Kent DeColvey 4-4. Mike Schmidt hits his 11th, 2 for 4, and drives in 2. Cleveland beats Texas 5-4. Havens 3-1. Matt Williams falls to 2-9. Curtis Wilkerson 3 for 4. Mets in 10 behind a great effort by David Cohn, beat the Expos 5-4. David Cohn, a 4-hitter, strikes out 10, 2 earned runs, but doesn't get a decision. Roger McDowell goes to 7-6. Tim Burke 2 for 4. Andres Galarraga, his 21st, goes 2 for 3 with a double. Boston's lead is now 2.5 over the Tigers as they move into second. You'll see them on Wednesday. Detroit wins 7-3. Doyle Alexander 8-11. Bruce Hurst goes to 11-9. Todd Benzinger 3 for 4 and 2 doubles. Paul O'Neill has a 15-game hitting streak, but Atlanta shocks Cincinnati at Riverfront 8-2. Tommy Glavine 6-11. Jack Armstrong falls to 1-6. Thomas 3 for 5, his 13th of the year, and drives in 4. Padres beat the Stros 5-1. Rasmussen 7-1. Bob Nepper 9-4. Santiago 3 for 4, and it hits his 9th. The Red Sox, by the way, walked 10. The Twins lose to the Yankees 3-2 at the Dome. Tommy John 9-7. Charlie Lee 9-6. Mike Pagliarulo 2 for 4, hits his 13th and drives in 2. Minnesota's lead is 2.5. Baltimore beats Milwaukee 6-4. Peraza 4-2. Birkbeck 4-7. Meyer 2 for 4, hits his 9th, drives in 2. The Dodgers lose to the Giants 4-2. Rick Russell 7-11. Oh, thank heaven. Tim Leary 11-9. Robbie Thompson hits his 8th, goes 2 for 4, drives in 3. Chicago beats Seattle 7-3. Dave LaPointe 10-7. Powell goes to 0-1. Carlton Fisk hits his ninth, 2 for 3, and drives in 2. And Oakland beats California 6-2. Todd Burns 2-2. Chuck Finley 7-7. McGuire hits his 26th and draws the walk. That'll do. My goodness. So it'll be the Tigers and the Red Sox to Wednesday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on YouTube. We'll see you for that then. Have a good day, everybody. So long. Where'd my mouse go? Where'd my mouse go? I can't find it. Oh.